Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It is face shave time. Today is Friday the 19th. I've just had my operation this morning. It all went very well. They managed to reattach the original ligament, which was strong and looked good. So hopefully, fingers crossed, after 12 weeks it'll be pretty strong. And between 16 and 20 weeks I'll be back at work. That's the plan. As you can see, I am in a full cast. The operation happened round about here in the wrist. This is all solid just here, and the rest of it is all sort of half cast. I don't know if you can see that anymore. It's a half cast. The cast is half. I don't know. Anyway, the exciting news wasn't the shave. The exciting news is I get to watch these bad boys play football in the morning. Whether they win or lose, I'm excited and I cannot wait. Full strength squad against Tottenham, and I cannot wait, honestly. Manchester United, Devils on the field, exclusive for another Cut Above, made by Andre and Steph over in the States. Is it Steph? Yeah. Andre, Steph. Yeah, I think, yeah, Steph. Lather Bros, brilliant soap. Now I used this yesterday as well for my pre-op shave. I'm using it again today because I want that little bit of luck. I do generally have a bit of luck when I use this stuff. I'm using my Manchester United, that's a lot of light there, Manchester United Leo Frio Custom. Now this was re-knotted for me by Reyes Restores, JR over at Reyes Restores in the States. Re-knotted this. This had a 24mm game changer knot in it, but it was dreadful. So I'm just going to squeeze out a fair bit of this excess, give it a flick. I can always add more water and then try and hold it with this hand, which is a little bit awkward. The reason I'm doing this shave is because tomorrow or the day after I don't know how good it's going to feel. What they did was they actually injected local anaesthetic directly into the nerve on the ulna in order to pretty much numb the whole area. So, albeit I'm on painkillers as well, the local anaesthetic is very, very strong. It does last anywhere between 12 and 36 hours, longer the better. But I thought I would stick a shave in for a bit of luck for United tonight, hopefully. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not holding my breath because United can look great on paper and be shit when they play. But yeah, so I'm not really, at the moment, in any real pain. I was in pain when I first came out of the operation a little bit. I've had some painkillers since then and it feels fine. The process of the operation was brilliant. I went in at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was checked in and admitted at 6:30, and I read 40 pages of my book, went straight in at 7:30. I was out at 10 and left the hospital at 12. Honestly, brilliant, really good service. And through my private health fund, it never cost me a coin, not a single cent, thankfully. Right, I'm going to go with it at that. I think that is absolutely shit tons. Now, Lather Bros is a tremendous soap. It is very, I would say it's a very underrated soap. I don't see it used very much. I know they've not been advertising much lately because they've had obviously issues with COVID-19 trying to get hold of tubs and things like that. I know they had some issues with technology as well. I think they lost some phones and stuff like that. Computers or something went down and they were struggling to sort of even just get back to people. And Andre has explained that to me. I think they've started really getting back to everyone. They're going to be releasing bigger tubs of soap, which for me is good and bad. I mean, look, let's be honest about this. I've been very, very lucky. I only purchased my first sets of Lather Bros, and Andre and Steph have very kindly sent me pretty much everything else they've released for me to use and review and keep or give away or whatever I'm going to do. And I'm forever grateful for it. I really am. I think it's great stuff. As it always is, I tell it as it is. If it's shit, it's shit. This stuff isn't shit. It's a very good quality artisan soap. Right, here we go. The brush is loaded. This is my custom Leo Frio, made by Leo over in the States. You can find him at Perfect Woodwork LLC over in the States. So here we go. The great thing with this soap is you're about to see, I mean, this is a badger brush, but it's a very good knot. It's a 26mm Magard knot, which as far as I'm aware is a Yaki knot, which I'm not a great fan of really because it's Yaki, but the fact that it came from Magards means that the money that I purchased this with went into an American company, and I don't mind that. Even though it's Chinese stuff and they've got it cheaper from China, I feel like I've done my little bit by giving it to an actual company that deserves it, in my opinion. It's not a bad knot, it's a great knot. So the thing is, all badging in here, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. I'm just going to dip the tips. It's going to be messy. Oh, I've got such a nice knot. There's no scrub, there's no scritch or scratch with it, there's loads of scrub. Listen, honestly, I don't know what my thought process was then. It tastes exactly like it smells. Is it a bad thing or not? Essentially, it's a bit like if you swallowed a bit of dirt and grass. Because this smells exactly like grass, pretty much. It's so nice. And it's very sweet. It's a lot sweeter than Barrister Man Diamond, just in terms of grass notes. It doesn't obviously have the complexity with the popcorn and the beer and all the other bits that Barrister Man's got. I'm just going to hold my arm up a little bit. It just feels like it's swelling a little bit. Get the blood flow going. Just dip the brush again. Now this is real. This sort of gives you an idea of how sort of a one-handed person would shave, really, if you've only got one hand. Obviously I use this a little bit to hold the tub, but there are ways and means of holding a tub without using your hand. To be honest, if I was one-handed, I would probably stick to creams that I could squirt out of a bottle. It would just be easier. But you can still do all the fun stuff like creating the lather. Now, just bear in mind, if you do get a scent like this, where it's a real grassy scent, it's not a scent that's pleasant for the missus. It's not really a scent that's pleasant for anything other than at the time of the shave. Would I go out smelling like this? Probably not. Just going to dip the tips and then just paint some water in. Look at that. One-handed piece of piss. Spitting lather everywhere. Now, that being said, it's not a bad tasting soap, because me, being a bit of a maniac and a bit of a football lover and a bit of a sort of football pitch lover, I don't mind the taste of grass. In fact, I eat a lot of shit that tastes like grass as well. I have on the odd occasion eaten grass, if you class lemongrass as grass. Right. The razor sort of matches the theme. Is the carved Christopher Bradley razor, aluminium, black and red. This is the original, so it's not quite as vibrant as Jack over at the Virtual Groom Room's aluminium razor, but it is a beautiful razor. And for me, so far that I've used out of all of the carved razors, my favourite by a long shot. Although I am enjoying the stainless with the A-plate at the moment, but the A-plate works on this as well, and it still gives a fantastic shave. I prefer the lightweight. So here we go. I've got a, don't know how many use blade in here. It is Gillette Super Stainless, the spoiler, and here we go. I've got less than 24 hours growth. I've got about 20 hours growth. And that feels fan-dabby-dozy. Brilliant. Now, of course, I'm not heavily drugged up, but I've had some drugs today, some stronger painkillers. I don't know why, I can't explain it. Obviously the drugs help, but today I have felt the best I have felt in as far back as I can remember. Now my memory's shit, but I'm talking like 10 years, or you know, that sort of length, long time. The best I've felt. And I don't know whether it's just a weight lifted off my shoulders, I don't know, having this operation and knowing it went well. Now of course, when you've only got one hand, you can't really stretch. So I'm just doing the best I can with what I've got. I think I've just nicked my Adam's apple. Surprise, surprise. But that's okay. One little minor hiccup isn't a problem. Right, shout outs. I've not been doing many shout outs and it's my fault. There's no reason not to, because it's a free thing for channels out there to try and grow and get exposure. And the one I want to highlight once again, that I watched this video this morning before my operation, was Marion the Barbarian. Now Marion is a bit of an odd name for a bloke. I don't know whether he thinks it is, but it is a bit odd. It's a very unique man's name, unless it's very big in America or wherever it be. I don't know where his family maybe originate from, I'm not sure. But it's obviously Marion, in my mind, is a woman's name. But I hope that's not offended you in any way, by the way. That's just, when someone says, have you met Marion? I think women. I shouldn't really, but I do. But awesome guy, and he's just started very, he's not been making videos long, like, is it 2 or 3 weeks or something? And they're really good quality. He uses a Samsung Galaxy Note 9, which is older than my phone, and his video quality is great. It's 1080p, but the sound is brilliant. Now the sound on my video, on this camera, you'll hear it now. If you go to Marion the Barbarian, I'll pop a link below, and just listen to the sound quality on it. I think it's so clear and crisp, and there's no sort of echo or buzz that I get from this camera. How good is this soap? The residual slickness is excellent. The post shave is excellent. The lather is phenomenal. It's easy to work with. They're a lovely company to deal with, and they made me a Man United soap. Now, don't get too excited, but I think Andre and Steph are contemplating releasing this as an actual soap. I don't know whether it'll be called this or not. I've told them I'd love to be on the label as it is right now, because I think that'd be pretty cool, and I just think that'd be awesome. But whether it'll be called Devils on the Field and be Manchester United based, or whether it'll be sort of generic based, I don't know. Personally, I think he'd just do what he's done because it's brilliant. Whether he'd get away with it with the Man United logo on there, I'm not sure. But I think he's honestly thinking about releasing it. If he does, I think it will sell quite well. I will tell you a soap which will give you an idea of what it's sort of like. Now, I think this is better, the scent. And the soap is Petrichor from Barrister and Man, which, if you smelled that before, it's just a pretty much full-on grassy, dirty scent. This is the same, but it is sweeter, and this one is borderline, you'll get away with it afterwards. I think if your wife or your partner or your husband was big on outdoor sports, they would probably appreciate it more. It does have a magical scent to it. Well, I thought I'd nicked my Adam's apple, but I don't think I have. This has got the B plate on here, which is 0.73 blade gap. The blade exposure on the calf razors is pretty much optimal for me. I think it's brilliant. They're very efficient, but you don't really feel the blade, and that goes quite far through the blades, even up to D. You do feel the blade a bit on the D, but not Superman. I just find it far too efficient, the D plate. If you're looking for something extremely efficient, I think it goes up to G. Is it G? Which is just ludicrous. But by all accounts, from what I hear, it's still a very smooth shaving razor on a D plate. I'm just going to dip the tips. Such good soap. I wish I could get the splashes. Just such good stuff. Really, it's a soap. It's almost idiot proof. What do you reckon? Pretty damn good. Brilliant. What a shave. Sure, it's a cracker. Brilliant. I don't think I've got a single weeper today. I might have a creeper, but a one-handed shave with a fantastic soap and a fantastic brush and an uber fantastic razor. I haven't got any weepers, and I'm really happy. I'm happy in myself, I'm happy with my skin. I look a bit pale, but who gives a fuck? The operation was a success. I don't think today could have went any better. Right, let me see if I can just fix this a little bit. Obviously, this video is going to be a little bit long. Oh, Christ, it's not too bad, 18 minutes. Bloody fuck, one-handed shaves are the way forward for me, I reckon. If I did this with two hands, I'd be here for 25 minutes. To be fair, the soap makes a difference. The soap lathers so quickly, and I get a voluminous lather that lasts all 3 passes, 4 passes, 7 passes, you name it. I used this on my head and my face yesterday, absolutely no issues whatsoever. So let me just set that aside. I'm going to empty my glass out. My glass also came from Chris Kirchin over at Carve, Port Rexton Brewing Company. I believe these are based in Newfoundland, which I think is Canada. I'm sorry if it's not, but I think it is Canada. Right, I'm going to wet my right hand. This is going to be difficult. Wet my right hand with warm water. No, it's not going to be difficult because I can use my left hand. Just get my APR Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. 1 squirt of that. And here we go. Well, if that's not a fantastic shave, I don't know what is. By the way, have I used the word fantastic yet in this video? Superb, tremendous, fantabulistic, whatever you want now. Lather Bros Devils on the Field, beautiful label. I love the label. It's got the Manchester United red devil in the background as well, if you can just see it, the sort of silhouette of it. Man United logo, and it's got exclusive for another cut above. If you released this and you released it like that, I'd be stoked. Or if you made it even better, I'd be even stoked. As long as my name's on there, Andre. You know what I mean? You'll sell more soaps, honestly. That is what the soap looks like. These old tubs are actually hollow bottom tubs. Doesn't matter, you still get the same amount of soap as what it says on the front, which I think is, actually I don't think he put it on here. I think it's 3.5 ounces. But he hasn't put it on here because it was a one-off soap for me. He hasn't bothered about that. The brush, well, you've seen how well it worked. It's a fantabulous brush. 26mm Magard synthetic, Magard 2-band badger. It's almost 3-band really, but it is a 2-band, I think. Was it best? Might have best badger, I'm not sure. It's got the Man United coin on the bottom. There we go. And the carved Christopher Bradley razor with the B plates, aluminium, or aluminum if you're in America, but aluminium with Gillette Super Stainless spoiler blade in there. And I finished off today with AP Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. This is still going, but there's not much left. However, I think I've got about 3 months out of that bottle. So 50 Australian dollars, 3 months worth of daily use on a product I think is excellent value for money. And with that, I couldn't be any happy. Oh look, one creeper, you little shit. Don't believe that. Actually I do, but one creeper from a full shave with one hand. Not bad, especially drugged up. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys hopefully over the next couple of days. But if not, hopefully with Manchester United have won, which could be another 3 weeks. Cheers.